think most days we just wake up and we just expect life to be similar to the day before. We get used to our schedules, our routines. Sometimes God has a different plan. There could be a big change coming, and we might call it a wreck. We might think we were not prepared, and then we get to look in the rearview mirror and we see that God has worked all along, and He was bracing us for that wreck. Rich and I were married in 1980 in a little church in Cincinnati in the middle of a snowstorm. I married this FBI agent. Rich and I were just blessed. We had 3 children, Megan, Ryan, and Tim, boom, boom, boom. And then God sent us just our sweet Caitlin, like almost 10 years later. Life was really good. The road was smooth. In 2013, I started to go to a Bible study, and I began to learn more about God, who He was in a deeper way, His will for me. That was such a sweet time because as I was studying God's Word for the very first time, He joined the men's Bible study. And so Rich and I, our faith just began to grow together. We joined a home group, such a blessing, and a big part of how God was preparing for the wreck. It was just another beautiful Sunday morning. After church, we hurried to the airport to get our kids there as they were leaving on vacation. And we headed out of the airport in 2 different cars. Rich went through the toll booth first. I followed behind him. And when I pulled out, I saw that a car had crashed on the side of the road. Something prompted me to pull over. And then I saw his blue shorts. And then I ran and screamed. There was already emergency personnel there. He was receiving CPR. But I knew right away that it was serious. I got to see Rich as soon as I got to the hospital and held his hand, prayed with him. They determined he had had a cardiac arrest followed by a heart attack, and he was gravely ill. We've thought back, like, why the 3 days? And God was giving us time to brace, to wrap our heads around possibly losing Rich. He died that Wednesday afternoon. We prayed and we sang with him, and he smiled. And I just know that was the moment that he met Jesus. I thought, where do I go from here? This was our whole life. We had plans. Did his death threaten everything? Did it wreck everything? Slowly, I came to understand that it didn't. I especially love the story of Peter in the boat in the Sea of Galilee. As long as he kept his eyes on Jesus, he didn't sink. But when he took his eyes off Jesus, he started to flail and sink. I just held on to that. Just keep watching me, keep trusting me. I'm going to show you the way. Life still goes on, just like Jesus was resurrected. I know that Rich is with him in heaven, as I saw the smile on his face as he left this earth. And the joy he had, I know that's available to all of us as believers as well. And we can live with pain and death and suffering and not feel wrecked. Easter is just that beautiful picture, God holding his hands out to us. I love you. Trust in my Son, and you'll join me one day.